19 weeks of kitchen renovations all comes to a close today in this video, so make sure to stay tuned to the end as I have a huge, shocking before and after. Hi everyone, my name is Shannon and welcome to my channel, The Daily DIYer. I also want to thank HomeAglow for sponsoring today's video. This is the point of the kitchen where I left off in the previous video, the part 1 of this kitchen renovation. If you missed that video, I will link it down below. But as of right now, we have installed all of the cabinets and all of the appliances after completely gutting this kitchen. If you don't want to go back and watch the previous video and you're just here for the pretty stuff, we are doing it all from start to finish today. And you're going to see that big before and after. We're going to have fun selecting paint and countertops. And yes, we even had some help from our puppy, Honey, throughout this process. And right now, we are installing the trim. Now, our home is over 100 years old. It was built in 1908. So we are trying to keep with the style of the craftsman style home that we have. So we custom did all the trim and went ahead and painted it white, the same color of the trim throughout the rest of our home. I do have a playlist linked down below to all the renovations we've done to this old house thus far, so you want to check that out too, as we've done our living room, the bedroom, and the bathroom. Now it's on to paint color choices. I have always loved this color. It's called Emmy's Room. I was looking for sort of a sage green, and I thought this would be perfect for the kitchen. But once we got home and I opened the paint can, I was a little bit worried. It looked kind of light to me. However, I also know that paint dries darker. So went ahead, we put some up on the wall, and you can see around the edges it does dry darker, but I wasn't happy with it when I went to bed after it was dry, and I woke up and thought maybe I would change my mind, and I did not. It was a very pastel kind of seafoam green. So I went back to the drawing board and found this color, Evergreen Fog. And as you can see already, it has a much more warm tone to it versus the pastel tone in the last paint color. This is much more of what I was going for. It went on the wall really nicely, and it also dried a little bit darker, which is what I was hoping for. I wanted that earthy, kind of warm, but also neutral green tone, and it's just beautiful. Couldn't be more happy with the second paint choice color. If the walls in this house could talk, they would say a lot. We found so many layers underneath the paint in this house. There was a layer of plaster, then 2 layers of wallpaper. They drywalled over that, and then they put more wallpaper and then painted over the wallpaper. It was just kind of a disaster, and it was either rip out the drywall and start over or shiplap. So obviously we went with the shiplap route. I love it. We have it in our bedroom too, and so this is just kind of a nice way to also continue the theme throughout the house. We also have board and batten in the bathroom and the living room, so it kind of has this nice textured wall effect, accent walls going on. I'm just loving it. Then I was on the fence, should I paint the shiplap or should I paint it white? And I almost just left it white. However, I was loving that green so much, so I tested a swatch on the wall and thought, you know what, let's just keep going. So that's what we did. I figured if I didn't like it, I could always paint it over it again and turn it back to white. But when you see the end result, you are going to love this green too. I know I posted on Instagram and so many people voted for white over the green, but I think once you see this kitchen all come together, you'll agree that green was the right choice. One thing that did make this kitchen renovation a little bit easier was calling in the help of HomeAglow. When renovating, there just wasn't much time for deep cleaning as we spent many weekends and spare hours working on the kitchen. HomeAglow is a 5-star house cleaning service with super affordable prices. It's also so easy to schedule a cleaning online. You simply go to HomeAglow's website to choose the day and time you're looking for and the duration of your cleaning. I liked that if I needed a cleaning quickly, that I could schedule it as early as the same week, or if I wanted to schedule something ahead of time for next month, I could do that early on, knowing I had something important coming up that I would need the cleaning for. This is so great for parties, special occasions, or in our case, we just didn't have a whole lot of time to do it ourselves. By calling in HomeAglow, we were able to prioritize getting this kitchen renovation finished as quickly as we possibly could. And you may not be renovating your home, but with the holidays right around the corner, things are starting to get busier than ever. Take home cleaning off your plate by using HomeAglow. Head to homeaglow.com/DailyDIYer to get your first cleaning for only $9. I'll also have more information and a link down in the description box below. It's always a good feeling knowing the rest of your house is clean, even if your kitchen is a disaster, as that's what happens with these kitchen renovations. At this point now, we're gonna start installing some more trim. The crown molding is amazing. We have 9-foot ceilings in our home, and this just helps this room feel even taller by bringing the eye all the way up to those tall ceilings. This type of detail work, such as the trim and the crown molding, was very difficult in this over 100-year-old house, as nothing is level, even, square, plumb. So the trim work just kind of finishes it all off, makes it all kind of blend together. However, it is sort of a magic trick to make that happen. So it's tedious work, but worth it in the end for us to now be at this point in our kitchen looking good. And now we can do some more fun stuff, and that's shopping for countertops. I've been waiting for this day. We went to a warehouse. We're able to select our slab of quartz for this. This is the one that we chose. I also brought our door and our backsplash tile and what I thought was going to be the paint color at the time to make sure it all blended and looked nice together. So this is the only part of the kitchen we actually outsourced and hired somebody to come do. We did actually think about potentially making our own countertops, but I am so glad we called in the experts. They came out, they measured again, and then came back to install the countertops a couple weeks later. They did an amazing job. It looks beautiful. And again, with nothing being level, even, or square, they did a phenomenal job. And with the kitchen countertops installed, I was getting so excited. Everything was starting to come together. It was looking really, really nice in the kitchen. So I was excited to get started working on more details, including the hardware. Now, this was a hard decision for me to make. I previously bought some from Lowe's and I wasn't loving them. They were a little bit too yellow gold for me. So I found these on Amazon. I love them the instant they arrived. They're kind of more of like a champagne antique brass. I will link these down in the description box below. So if you're looking for the hardware, or I'll try to link everything I possibly can down there to make it easy for you to find if you love one of the items, like the faucet, the lighting, the hardware, any of the little details that I'm posting, check the description box. I'll try to link everything down there. But I'm so glad and happy with the way the hardware turned out. There were different sizes, there were knobs, and for this bigger unit, which you'll see here soon, they even had the long 12-inch handles. Just came together beautifully. Happy with those. Of course, also we changed out the lighting. This was our old lighting, old lighting. This is the old lighting we added new shades to get us by, and it was time for them to go completely now. I found these lights very affordably on Amazon as well. I loved the sort of antique-y look and vibe that they had. I just love the glass globe. They are a piece of art, even though they were very affordable. Now, I did kind of do a little twist on the ceiling lighting. This is much more modern, but it still has the brass finish on it. I wanted a lot of light in the kitchen. I didn't want anything hanging down because our island is mobile and we can move it around, so I didn't want to center anything. That lighting was the perfect fit for our kitchen. Now on to tackle the last big job of this kitchen, and that is the backsplash. This I had been waiting for. We went to the hardware store, grabbed all the supplies that we needed. Honey even got a trip with us. She loves going to the hardware store too, and got to work. I found this beautiful marble at builderdepot.com. I'll link it down below for you too. Thank you to them for gifting it to us for this kitchen. It is a picket style marble, gorgeous, high quality tile, and just wait till you see it all finished and installed. It is a dream. So I am not a big fan of tiling. We did our bathroom recently and did big tiles and flooring tile, but this is the actual first backsplash we've ever done. And let me tell you, with all the outlets and little places like this with the windowsills, there's a lot of cutting going on, and we had to take about 2 days to install it, but we wanted to make sure it was on even. We wanted to make sure it was on right and take our time. And there was a lot more wall space than we really actually kind of, I think, were prepared for. But here's what it looks like once it's all installed, and then it was time to grout. Again, I had a hard time deciding on what grout color I wanted, but we just went ahead and went with a bright white. Seemed like it flowed really nice with the tile, but also didn't take away from any of the detail of the tile. So I actually really enjoy grouting tile. It's very satisfying. You see this come to life really quickly. It doesn't take too long. And here it is, 100% done. I'll give you a big, wider view of it once we get to the after, so stay tuned for that. Now let's talk about this space next to the back door in the window. This used to have a cabinet on it, but I felt like it kind of boxed in the room when you walked into the door. It felt a little claustrophobic. So we decided to leave it open and add in some open shelving instead. So I found these beautiful brass brackets. I'll link them down below. We went to the hardware store and found this gorgeous red oak for the shelves and kind of DIY'd this. So I just took the wood down to my workshop, cut it down to size so it fit in between the trim, between the door and the window. I also sanded it and also sealed it with a polyacrylic and sanded it again so it would kind of take down any kind of glossy sheen, and then installed the brackets and added the wood shelves on top. And then what are we gonna put on those shelves? Well, I'm not a big fan of cluttering up my countertops, so I decided we were gonna put the canisters of our dry goods up there. So I found these beautiful canisters and labels on Amazon. I'll link them down below for you as well. I just put whatever labels I needed onto the canisters, filled them up, and then put them onto the shelves. Even have a nice space for our doggy treats when we let her in the back door now, which is really convenient. And then let's talk about this space over here. So this unit off to the left is going to become a appliance garage on top of the countertops. So we had to wait until the countertops were installed to install the appliance garage. But we also had this empty space off to the left, and we were able to find this really great spice rack cabinet insert. So my husband Brian custom built a door and installed that, and it's kind of like a little secret hidden space, but has so much additional storage for all those spices. The jars and labels are also from Amazon, and I'll link those down below for you too. And then speaking of appliance garage, he was able to find the right hinges to make this work. Got those installed the door onto the appliance garage, and that is the coolest thing ever. So this is a space we now keep our coffee in and smaller appliances in. And then here's another look at that compact spice rack off to the side. Finally, time to start adding all the fun details and elements like soap dish and hand soap containers, towels. I added a cute little corner space with a cookbook and some greenery to give this space some life. I love these candles. I'll link them down below too. One of my grandmother's cookie cutters to add some personal touches in there and a little bit more greenery to offset this corner and kind of fill up the empty space. And then speaking of my grandmother, this is a very special painting to me. She handed it down to me. It is a painting of a farmhouse that her and my pawpaw used to live in. She had this painted and framed for him for Father's Day, and she always wanted to make sure that I had this. So it was in the she shed, and now I found the perfect space for it in our home. Now I'm loving this space next to that painting. If you missed the first video, this is actually a hidden door. So it's a pantry that we converted into a entryway to our basement access. And it's also our broom closet. So we're able to store a bunch of our cleaning supplies, brooms, vacuum in this space, and then you just turn the corner and you go down to our basement. There's also storage above it on a shelf that we were able to take advantage of and make use of some more storage space. I also have to show you our smart home hub that we installed. This has been so handy. It has so many different things connected to it. Our thermostat, our security system, our Ring doorbell, so it even has a camera on it. We can check the doorbell. It has our kitchen lights. It has an alarm on it. It has intercom on it, and it's also hooked up to Alexa, so we're able to use it in that way, and it's all on our phone too. So I'll link that down below if you're looking for something to turn your home into a smart home in an easy and affordable way. Functionality was so important to us in renovating this kitchen. We also come in the back door and needed a place to put our keys, so I found these beautiful brass key hangers on Amazon. I'll link those down below as well. And now for the big reveal. This is the home's listing photo from 2015 and now to what it looks like today. I'm just going to put some music to these big before and after photos so you could sit back and really take it all in. One of the biggest hurdles that we have owning a over 100-year-old home is that there is very little storage built in. So those are big hurdles we've had to overcome with this old house. So adding in storage anywhere we possibly could in this kitchen was very important to us. We tried to take up every square inch we possibly could, even installing these built-in new slide outs on either side of the sink. This one wasn't even in the plans until we started installing cabinets. We had some extra space. I ordered it. It came in fast enough that we were able to do that. Also including these little tilt out trays with the sink, which just gave us even more storage there. And all of the cabinets go to the ceiling, so we have taller cabinets than we ever did before. But all the details like the brass finish, the undermount sink, the new tile, all the white, the neutral tones add even more light and even more height to the space. And then little details like adding in your own style, like the canisters and the labels that kind of give you that vintagey feel. I really was going for timeless in this whole house. This has always been the objective. So of course I continue that on into the kitchen, adding modern elements, new items, but that still have that older feel. We also had the Countertop people install quartz windowsills for us underneath our new windows that we had installed last summer. So efficiency and beautiful little touches like that just really give this a custom look. I will say that this was the hardest project that me and my husband have ever tackled together, and that's saying a lot since we built an entire 17-foot tall she shed in our backyard a couple years ago. That playlist will be linked down in the description box below too if you're interested in that. This was 19 grueling, long, hard-working weeks. A lot happened in that time. But we kept it together, we worked hard, and we got there in the end, and I am so glad we did. This space is so much better now and works so much better for our family. And now if you could do me one huge favor and just hit that thumbs up button, that shows me that you appreciate the hard work we put in this video. And I want to thank you all so much for joining us on this adventure, this renovation journey. If you're new, subscribe. Definitely check the links in the description box below to HomeAglow and the products I featured in today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Have a great day.